Salute, salute, salute. Peace and power, peace and power. Yeah, let me get comfortable here. Peace and power, peace and power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people of the struggle. Salute, salute, salute. As you come on in, please know that this is a safe space. This is a space for learning and getting learned up. This is a space for educating and being educated. This is a space for conversation, dialogue, discussion. This is a space for building. Okay? Questions, answers, comments, concerns, man. This is your space. As my classroom assistants come on in, please make sure all contact information is in the chat. For the duration of class and throughout the class, please make sure all funding, information, fund this war effort, that all funding information is in the chat for the duration of class. If you or anybody you know is in need of anger management, please book an assessment. It helps. Trust and believe could change your life. If you are already up under here and you've been under my care, get your session booked and in, okay? I've been seeing a lot on the news. Many of the latest news stories could have been prevented if somebody was in tune with their anger issue. Book your assessment or your session. If you or anybody you know is in need of a domestic violence intervention, please book an assessment as well. Find out the warning signs, the alerts. Find out what you need to know about domestic violence, intimate partner abuse, however you choose to label it, okay? Get it in. The life you save may be your own. We got a lot of people to tag tonight. As you can see, I'm back in this space here. I haven't been back in this space in a minute. You know, this is my feel-good space. This is my space where I let it all go. If I'm in the kitchen, I got to be mindful of what goes on and, you know, from in other spaces in the house. But when I'm back here, oh, I could get it in. So please, somebody tag Busta Rhymes. Somebody tag Busta the Buster. Somebody tag, if you will, Ray Benzino. And if you will, Sade, I see you up in here. You get a 55. But if you is in Texas, somebody, tag Slim Thug. Slim Thugga, bring your ass to class. If you in Louisiana, tag D1 capping ass. Tag him to class. And as always, our faithful classroom draggies, T.I. and Lil Boosie. Somebody tag them too. Or we gonna have fun tonight. Yeah, it's Fatherhood Failure Night. Yeah. Fatherhood Failure Night. But before we get into the meat of the class, we got some business to tend to. Yeah. Who is in class? And if you are not a foul individual, tag your classmates. But I see we got a lot of foul people in here because I see a lot of people in here who ain't been here. Lay Charles, we see you. Murder Gang, what up, Steph? You up in this Sade? In here, early. Still, take your 55 and put it in your back pocket. Yeah. You've been enjoying the grand and sneaking out. Yeah, you've been missing class. Philip Boone, what's going on? TC, what up? C Blades, I see you. Yvette, what's going on? Uh-oh. Jamal Rogers. There you go. Back to back classes. Chasing Reels. What's good? You already know what it is. Cookie. Hey, Cookie. Yeah. B Dolo. Okay, Merk Low. Boy, Merk Low was a regular. Zone 86 too. They be coming in the same time. Y'all must be smoking buddies because y'all come in the same time. A class. Demont Elmore. 55. Kevin Willis, I see you. Hey, Coaster. George Johnson. Higher Thinking. Mad Flames. We got the flame on. But you get a 55. Maxwell Trucking. We see you. Terrell Williams. 55. Van Rutledge. Salute. Always in, always on point. Always got his pen ready. Todd Campbell. What's going on? Yeah, William Grizzard. You get a 55. You get a 55, William Grizzard, but you can book your assessment any of these platforms, whether it's Facebook Messenger, DM on IG, email me. That's how you book that assessment. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Joel Torres, East New York in the building. 55, East New York. You ain't been here. What you been? Working overtime? April Brown, what's going on? Ronald Toussaint. 55. Bernadette, I see you. Versace Broccoli. Yeah. Rodney, Lord. Peace and salute. Unpopular opinion. Boy, class is thick tonight. Mark Hans, y'all must ain't got nothing to do. Woo, D. Haven. Salute. And D. Haven, I shoulda went to the Javits Center yesterday instead of going to that reparations, because that reparations forum was some dun shit. So salute to you, D. Haven. Lou Law, what up, Bliz? Lou Law, you get a 55. Coming up in here, I ain't never see that name in a long time. The infamous African, salute, 55. What? Boy, 55 crew is in here. Huh? Hood Center Highlights, 55. Ooh, wait. Sultan Thomas, Salam's cousin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Kelton Hannah, 55. Ooh, wee, boy, they hot tonight. They in here, Tierra, I see you. Think for yourself. Man, listen, let's just get this started. 9 minutes in. 9 minutes in. Other people hate when we do this, but this is how we acknowledge our class. This is how we show our love and appreciation for each other. All the classmates know who come on the regular. My classroom assistants, they know who's in the spotty spot. They know who be green screening. They know what's going on. Let's get to it. Now, at this point, y'all all know of the interaction between Busta Rhymes and Ray Benzino. If you don't know, Man, y'all could go to one of them gossip sites and get it in, research it, talk about it. We know Ray Benzino. If you too young, like Tierra, we know. You may not know. He was the founder, one of the founders of Source Magazine. And founding member of the Almighty RSO, coming up out of Boston, Mass. But if you are in this age group, you would know him from Loving Hip Hop Atlanta and being Coi Lerais' dad. Coi Lerais' dad. Okay? And many of you, I don't care which era, which decade, know Busta Rhymes, who has been for the better part of 30 years one of the standout MCs that we have in the hip-hop community. Recently, they got into it because of Busta Rhymes' appearance and interview in one of Coi Lerais' music videos, right? What's the problem with that, Bliz? Busta's always in somebody's video. He is known for remixes and adding verses and being extra. Well, problem is that young Coi Lerais was dressed very provocatively, and even though that has been her image as of late, Busta is of a particular age and a father of daughters himself. Ray Benzino caught feelings behind that. Oh no, it's no going easy. I don't care if you're from Brooklyn. I don't care if you're from East New York. I don't care if you're from my building. If you out of pocket, if you're out of alignment, if you off code, you're going to get the business. So he's going to get the business. We see Gressler, the Gressler, global hustler, has now entered the classroom from Zurich, Switzerland. Salute. The bag of bones. So now, Ray Benzino goes to social media with his anger, with his disgust over the situation, and basically calls Busta Rhymes out, as well as, was it Angie Martinez? Wasn't Angie Martinez the one in the interviewing Coi, or at the scene of the video shoot? I do believe it was her. Anyway, he goes on social media and in a very triggered and excited state went completely off with his displeasure about Busta being an older, more mature in age and experienced man around this young girl influenced by this industry, barely clothed. Okay? Barely clothed. Now, I've seen her IG page. I've seen her in commercial ad spaces and in her lyrics and in her music. Very current, very sexual, and a bit over the top for someone who has a father in the same industry. Now, some people may think it's okay. Some people may say, well, the way Benzino carries on and has carried on, he shouldn't feel a ways about it. However, we cannot and should not, as I always tell y'all, intertwine the person and the artist. Intertwine a person and their creativity. Intertwine reality with the fantasy, the fairy tale of the industry, especially when it comes to someone who is parenting, and especially for fathers of young girls. I wouldn't care where you're at, what you're doing. A father should always parent his daughter. I wouldn't care where it's at. But as we have been conditioned as Black people to not be engaged with each other because of fear of lynching, of beating, of getting fired, of being demeaned, others have bought into that concept, stripping melanated men of their power to parent, their power to be heads of household, power to be husbands. Every institution around us finds it okay and quite necessary to put buffers in between Black men, melanated men, okay, and their most prized possessions, their families. Okay? Let's make that clear. So, of course, Benzino goes on his rant, wows out, and called Busta out on his wrong, being off code. And seems a lot of people missed it. They really missed what he was saying because of where they sit in the system, where they sit in the whip, where they sit in terms of the industry. They missed what Benzino was getting at. And I know they missed it because the shit went viral. And the first one to respond that I saw was Spliff Star. From that side, I've seen so many others and all these little bullshit ass YouTube spaces and all, just trying to continuously be in the space of speaking for an industry, speaking for a culture, speaking for white folk, and speaking to undermine Benzino because of the role that he played in this culture. But Split Star was specific, threatening even. And I know Squiggy. Yeah, for those who don't know. Yeah, that's his original street name, Squiggy. And I know of his affinity and his love for Busta, who literally changed his life and put him in a position to have a decent, a very good existence. There's no one that I have seen in the entertainment community in the rap world more loyal than Spliff to Bus. And you guys have witnessed that. But he never really is vocal and never really gets involved in anything. Any of this industry shit, because the squiggy that we know in the town, in BK, is not with the industry shenanigans. So it took me aback to see him come on and make a statement and go at Benzino and talk about the history that they've had. And again, saying Benzino did not have to go to social media with his gripe, even though that's what he's been doing for the longest. Because we do know that before social media, rap mags, rap publications were social media. We do know that Source magazine was social media at the time. And then we got XXL and rap pages and all these other, but that was social media. And then he transitioned into the blogging and then the transition. But Ray Benzino is social media. And from his not so solid viral moments as the recent past, people would think that he wouldn't be here, right? Especially since there were recent attacks and jabs at him because of the Eminem situation and Coyle Ray's statements and the statements that she has made on social media about fatherhood, about parenting and things of the such, which we as outsiders only know from what we are witnessing. However, Spliff made it very, very clear that if Benzino doesn't cut it out, then he was going to show a different face. And, that, Squiggy, come on. You've been through too much to get to this point, to begin to backpedal. Because for the same thing that you're charging Benzino with, you didn't have to do that. Nah, Squiggy, you ain't had to do that. No. See how I keep telling y'all how this social media shit, how this shit here, where people are in the whip, and that little ego start coming out, and they start coming through and believing that this is a forum or that this format should be used for their gripes. Got to be a little bit sharper than that, regardless of how triggered you may be. Because those type of dudes have a lot to lose, especially at this point of the game when they're making an attempt to wipe all of them out. And Benzino's statement to Busta didn't threaten anyone's bag. All he was doing was calling Busta out on his bullshit, which was bullshit. The God, right? The Seven, the Father, right? Power her. Didn't make any attempt to curb what was going on. Okay? So now, finally, we get a response from Busta. on Angela Yee's little podcast. And again, I listened with many ears. I listened to see if I heard any of the degrees come out of the God's mouth. I listened to see if I heard any fatherly words come out of the God's mouth. But I also listened to see if there was just a man recognizing his wrong in the situation. And I didn't hear either. None. Was not apologetic. He didn't take responsibility for his actions in that role. Nothing at all. So again, I don't know if the ego of an MC, I don't know if it's all of the things that they've been saying about him in this year of Hip Hop 50 and granting him this award and shit like that, that he missed what he should have done in the moment that he appeared on that video set or shoot or wherever they were, and realized that a young girl whose dad he knows and has contact with was dressed inappropriately in front of him. That's the point that's being missed here. That's Benzino's point. That not only do I know you, not only are we in the same industry, not only are you a father, but you're supposed to be the God. And as a man, you, Busta, did not give him the right to parent. That is what Benzino had a difficult time articulating. See, because I tell you, when you're angry, when you're triggered, when you're going through trauma, if you don't collect yourself before speaking, it is very, very difficult to communicate, to get your wording together, to make sense, because you're angry, you're heated, you're enraged. The whole point is being that this man, who has had in recent limited power, limited reach, limited authority over the decisions that's being made by his daughter and for his daughter. And that Busta, as a man, as an old ass man who has a daughter, should have had the fucking decency to either pick up the phone and say, yo, son, check this out. This is what's going on. And I don't know if you can do anything about it, but you should know. And I'm going to do my best not to be in violation. That is how a man, a father, the God should have handled that situation. Not just roll on in, watch, participate, and maybe get off and have a good old time with this young girl. Right there, barely dressed, in your presence. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Because, again, you told Angela, you got daughters. Okay? You said as a brother, as a friend, right? That you can give your opinion. But you didn't do any of that, and you're still unapologetic. Okay? You're still unapologetic about it. That's the point. That black men, melanated men, right? People with titles, father, CEO, God, dog, boss, are not performing in that capacity because to really manifest themselves as men, as fathers, as bosses, they would have a little bit more gumption when it comes to respecting young women, black women, young melanated women in their circumference. All them titles and shit go out the window because the industry's insulated, making sure that you don't move in that manner, making sure that you play the game, that the agenda gets pushed through. That's what the hell is going on in this particular incident. That you, as a man, as the God, as Rah, for 30 years, was blinded by that bullshit. That you didn't have enough sense to look. That they never have enough sense to look and see that these are children, that these are kids, regardless of what they do. Nah. Wrong. Dead wrong. Dead wrong. Regardless if it's her and she's doing it of her own cognition, whether if it's Lotto, whether it's any of these little young girls. We see it all day, right in our rooms, in our homes, in our communities. And young kids is out of pocket and out of line. Doesn't absolve you. It does not absolve you of your responsibility to be a fucking adult. And check them if you can. Then attempt to do that. You participated in the bullshit. And it's cool. It's all right. Because you don't like how the father move, social media, the rap community, because they don't dig how the father move, because he has questionable actions, because he get paws put on him and did all this other weirdness that we watched him do. We serious right now? We serious right now. You can't see when someone's being wronged? That's suspect. Very suspect. But of course, again, he couldn't say anything. Because that's not going to be the only video set. That's not going to be the only young girl half naked around him. Because you in the whip. You dig? And for him to say it, it would have to cause a ruffle and a wave throughout the industry. Do you understand that? Understand that. That if none of them stand tall, that all around them are going to fall. Everybody going to fall in line with the bullshit. Okay? Or again, Don't miss the point. A man was denied his ability to parent, his potential to put something in her ear. Busta denied him that right. And that's what got him hot. And anybody that can't see that, again, then they're ignorant to parenting or haven't had any children or don't know what it's like to be in a position, okay, where people may, consider your word less than because of the perception of who you might be. You're still a parent. That man had every right. Okay? That man. Okay? Yeah, cousin Benny Boom too. All of them, they in the whip. They're going to do whatever. All of that shit. First of all, she borderline PEDO material. It's not a grown woman in a grown woman's frame. That's some real other shit. We gonna leave it at that. Next up. I'm seeing, and I called it a couple of weeks ago, and if you've been in class, you know. I already told y'all this dude D1 is full of shit. He's capping. That whole shit was arranged. And so far, I haven't been hearing him say nothing consistent with the remarks that he made against Jim Jones, the Chicken Boss, and Mickey Mills. Okay? Nothing of the sort. All he's been talking about on his live is selling his book and selling his goddamn album. That's it. That's it. And what we have to stop doing is giving people accolades for shit that they did way in the past. And how people say a lot of things. And in the context of continuous work. Because most of the things that we're tasked to do as people who are considered grassroots, boots on the ground movement, this work is consistent. It is never done. You can't give out a damn turkey here and a coat there and believe that, oh shit, yeah, that you did a lot. Because turkey get ate and tomorrow mama might be hungry again. Kids grow out of coats. You understand? What about the trauma? What about the gunshots? What about the miseducation? What about the over-sexualization? What about the poverty that's consistent? So I always tell y'all, what are these people's day jobs? When you see them on social media all day, when you see them consistently go on from platform to platform to platform, but you never, ever see that audience that they're talking about around them on a regular basis. He did a lot. I'm not going to go. This ain't the forum and format. If you want to do certain things, we had a mean Q&A yesterday. Doing a lot and does a lot is two different things. Did a lot is another thing. So again, I'm seeing now you crying, you booing, and listen, I'm watching people get their kids blown up, and they shedding a damn tear. When the melanated man is always in a position, and they start with that vulnerable victim shit, and people start clapping and and all that. Listen, not with that shit. If I'm witnessing individuals on social media more than I'm seeing them in their communities, I gotta look at it sus. I have to. When you're more of an artist, when you're more of a clown, when you're more of a podcaster than in your goddamn hood, where it count. Because that's where the time is precious. I gotta tell y'all, I don't have time here to be sitting here. Because every time I'm right here, something's going on. Something is going on. When these dudes is taking fights to get on a damn podcast and a kid in his community getting their head blown off, don't tell me about what somebody's doing. I want to hear that shit. The same shit going on with Charleston. They talk that. I did. What are you doing? Can't be doing shit when you over there. It don't work like that. Dudes is on 10, 20, 30 different podcasts and radio shows a day, a week. Do that. We're not going to do that. I'm in the work. I know what it takes. This shit is tireless work. Tell y'all I'm in class, sometimes somebody getting shot right here. I'm looking at it on the screen. Time out. Come on. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Listen, I'm calling cap on it. I'm calling cap on it. There's not been statement made again. Dudes went at him, threatened him, and he clamped down. But yet continuously, in the same thing. Get my album. See, because I just heard him tonight. Get my album. Some people done paid $1,000 for the album. Oh, I appreciate it. Now I want to see after the album sells how much goes back into the community. I want to see if that happens or if he goes on tour. Not doing it. I've been in it too long. I've been around it. What's your day job? His day job as an educator, right? That's his day job. When the last time he been in class? When the last time he been in a class? That's all I want to know. Y'all know my day job. Y'all know my community job. Y'all see my work online. I'm working. I'm healing online. I got shit I don't even pitch because the work is more important. You're not going to start that. You're not going to start that. These dudes are becoming the new artists. And because they spit a little bit of pseudo-consciousness, everybody's perked up. I don't deal with the shaded gray area. That's just not me. Nigga, what you doing now? Right now. When we are hurting. That's where it's at. That's why I'm calling it cap. Now again, if I'm in error, which again, I haven't been in error yet. I do. Hope y'all know that. It's like I called out the Grandmaster, Mixmaster, Grandmaster J shit. And all that other weird shit that they had people hyped on. Bullshit. Because the end results was nothing. That went through Louisiana too, right? They got them hyped up too, right? Bullshit marches and clips falling out of weapons and all that shit. And they, yeah, and all that shit. Ended in what? What's the end result of your actions? These dudes want to be social media stars before anything. It's cap. I'm calling cap. I'm calling it. I'm trying to figure out who's actually working with the kids. Who's actually working? I see them talking a lot, and they're not even talking to the kids. Because the kids don't follow that shit. So they just talking to y'all. They just talking to us. Kids ain't following that. Kids is checking for booty hole brown. Kids is on some drill shit. Kids ain't listening to y'all. Kids ain't on these platforms. They don't follow us. So who's talking to them? Who's talking with them? Who's getting it done? Talk to me like I know this shit. I know the work. It'll reveal itself. Give it a few more weeks. We'll see. All that crying shit he doing online. Get out of here with that shit. Get out of here with that shit. Wanna hear that? Next up. Might tag Slim Thug. Bring his ass to class. Another one. Then everybody talking that he doing this, he doing that, he doing this, and missing the shit he's not doing. So Slim Thugger, let's go. You, sir, had a rant. Yeah, Slim Thugger. You had a rant where you specifically was upset because you said dudes was ratting on Diddy. That dudes was snitching on Diddy. That he is in a position where he can't trust anyone. Really? His security snitched on him. His lady snitched on him. Who should he trust? Really? And people letting that shit fly. That Diddy, Puffy, Puff Daddy, Mr. Party, have people that are disloyal to him? So, okay, so let me get this straight. He can play in people grippers. He can get his grippers played in. He can beat people for publishing. He can abuse people. He can ruin people's careers. And nobody's supposed to say shit? This is Slim Thug. This is the one. Him? Y'all pushing that shit through? These little algorithms. People snitched on Puffy? That they were disloyal to Diddy? Come on, Slim Thug. Yo, who can you trust? Who can he trust? He trusted a lot of them. And there's a lot more of them that should be telling something. What code are they supposed to hold dear to? I mean, he's been doing this shit for 30 years. Do you understand that? So, let me get this straight now. There's no snitching. There's being loyal. Supposed to be for Diddy and the industry type shit? Or is it supposed to be for the street? Because if you want his people, these security people, right? These bodyguards, these women who are now saying that he'd abused, right? If they're supposed to be loyal to him based on a code, some type of street code, what kind of code are they supposed to adhere to? Because he ain't a street dude at all. He's an industry dude. I mean, allegedly his father ratted, so it's in his blood. But again, people are supposed to uphold that bullshit that he's alleged to have done. You, sir, Slim Thug, you believe that? This is the dude y'all saying is the boss and intelligent and doing all this work? Him. He building homes and all that. Him is saying that folks supposed to be loyal to Puffy. That shit slipped up under y'all belt? Like, really? I'm confused. I'm confused. So it's all right for him because he pays these individuals. This is what we're saying now. Because he paid them, because he employs them, because he cuddled and shared his bed, that he's supposed to be allowed to carry on with his dumb shit? And that's what you believe. So now you don't know who to trust. Ain't nobody loyal. Really? That's where we at with it right now. That Puffy. Puff. Cotton Puff. That people should be loyal to him and his bullshit. It's some bizarro shit. This is some bizarro shit. And people let these dudes say it and stand on it. They let them stand on this dumb shit that they say. I mean, haven't we had enough people be loyal to Puffy? 30 years worth of loyalty. While he's been putting foot in their ass. While he's been robbing them of their hard labor. You understand that? Nah, homie, you ain't mean that. But you did because you said some more stupid shit. Yo, I'm tired of the bankers. I'm tired of these small hats. I'm tired of these people owning black music. Black music, we supposed to own black music. Okay. Got you. Yeah, and it sound good. You can own black music when you have your own institutions, when you have your own business, when you take black music and insert it into an already functioning business, an already functioning system of these old phase, then you give it up. That's what you did. Now you, sir, again, they claim is independent, right? So maybe you do, at this point, at the point at which you came into the game, had your own studios in your homes and stuff. You came in the game in the 90s, so because of Soulja Boy and ushering in, Fruity Loops and computers and all, and getting your music direct to your base, or maybe you was part of the, the screws and all that, and y'all was still on cassettes and CDs and drawing them up and making them, and was able to sell out of your trunk or at independent retailers. You might have, right, controlled your own labor. That ain't happening no more. That shit is done. The day they got rid of the formats, the day vinyl wasn't popping no more, when they got rid of the cassettes and the CDs, that's done. But what's funny is that people never do their history when it comes to hip-hop, when it comes to commercial rap, when it comes to the music industry. Because we never owned it. Ever. Ever. And since he is a rapper, right? He is a rapper. And our first commercial rap successes in hip-hop, they give it all to Sylvia Robinson. That's what they do, right? I want y'all to take note. The Message. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. The Message. Who wrote The Message? Anybody in class can answer. It's 155 in the building. Who wrote The Message? Come on. We know it was on Sugar Hill Records. We know that. Who wrote The Message? Oh, you're a little bit too advanced there, Mr. Rogers. Yeah, Duke Booty, that's a little bit too hard. A little bit too far. But I'm glad you are aware of that. Melly Mel, Kaz, come on. Melly Mel, Kaz, Melly Mel. We got another Melly Mel. Got it. Do y'all know that they have Sylvia Robinson down as a songwriter for the message? Do y'all know they have Sylvia Robinson as a producer of the message? I never heard her spit not one bar, ever. Don't remember no singing on the message. None. I don't remember her playing anything on it. Like we know Duke Booty. Yeah. But see, as somebody who was in the business and already in alignment with how the business was using our music, you know, because she was involved from funk and soul, right? Knowing the business, she put her name as a songwriter and a producer on this record, thus taking away some of the points, the mechanicals and stuff like that from Melanin. Of course, Melanin got some. But why was she a songwriter on there? See, this is the business. That's the business. That's the shit that we never owned. Do y'all know Problems of the World that they feel is for? Y'all know who wrote that record? Come on now, who wrote that record? Feel is for Problems of the World today. Let's see how sharp y'all are. Ooh, Mr. Rogers, your ass must be 60 and from the Bronx. Curtis Blow didn't write it, but he produced it and he mixed it. But do you know who was the engineer? Who was the engineer on Problems of the World today? Bet nobody knows that, right? A Euro, a Ofe, white man. Dave Ogren. Whiter than white. Involved in hip-hop from the very beginning. Engineer on a conscious, awoke rap song. And who mastered it? Who recorded it? Who pressed it? None of these institutions did we own. We never owned black music. We never owned the industry. All of these industries, all of these institutions that were created, owned and operated by the old phase, we put our talent in, our labor in, and exchanged it for pennies. So when you hear these dudes saying this shit and it sounds slick to you, yeah, he's right. Why do they own black music? Why do they? Because you exchange this shit for pennies. Instead of, like the Negro League, where we owned fields and owned teams and Negro businesses were supporting and endorsing and advertising in the league. Music industry was never like that. So when they start talking this pseudo smart shit and y'all making this shit go viral, understand what y'all doing. Don't undermine your own intelligence by listening to these dummies. Because that's what they are, dummies. trying to sound smart. We never owned shit here. Didn't. And when you did, you sold it. Tired of you, but listening to this shit. I'm seeing this shit all day online. I'm like, yo, these dudes is unreal. They're unreal. I'm like, what is this? I'm just trying to sound smart and stupid. So, yo, yeah, tag their ass to class. They need to start watching. Start replaying the videos. Start tagging these dummies. Next up, another father, Lil Boosie. Lil Boosie is hurting. Went live talking about he's fearful of his son. He's fearful that his son might jump out the window and catch a body because his son went on a rant. Tootie Roll went on a rant, attacking verbally people in the industry, namely Kodak Black and NBA Youngboy. Now again, here's another father, such as Benzino, who has been questioned about his ability to parent. Now, his son is off the meter. He said his son got dudes hanging around him. They're young. They got access to funds and access to other things. And the way he's moving, he's fearful. He said, I don't want my son to to catch a body out here. He bugging out. And the reason that he bugged out is Tootie Raw said he has done songs with these individuals and they won't clear these records so they could put it out and get bread and start his career and get to moving and doing what he do. Why, as a father, I don't think the fear should be that your son may catch a body. I think the fear should be that your son could get bodied. And with all these fathers, I'm making an attempt to see, like, this is all that you have to give them? This industry that we don't own, we don't control, and several levels of it, there's nothing but abuse and hardship. So I'm thinking, why doesn't he do a better job at getting some help for real, for real? Now, he's made statements of him getting anger management. Boosie, I think I need anger management. Nobody reached out to the kid yet. So y'all might want to tag him again. However, when it comes to parenting, and you're seeing that you're having difficulty with this young man, y'all need to do something together as father and son in a therapeutic space. Because I wasn't worried about him bodying nothing. Would worry about him getting bodied by some of these little young dudes that don't have anything and may catch him out there. Or because, as he said in the past, that he always ride around with it and he always about it, this, that, and the third, by one of them happy-go-lucky, old-fay racist police. that might find it appealing to knock off a dark-skinned, melanated, privileged little kid who think he bout that action. So you shouldn't be scared as a father thinking he might push something. He might get pushed. So you may need a very, 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 very difficult and hard intervention to snap him out of his bullshit. And it really starts with explaining to them truthfully what this business is about, what the industry is about. Why are these dudes so quick to hand their children over to this shit? Don't get it. I don't get it. Quickly. They just want to hear. I don't understand that. Not for the life of me. Not for the life of me. But we know Boosie struggles. I know he struggles. I know he's been traumatized. I know they ain't too sharp. But if he's really, because again, he looked like he was welling up, looked like he had water in his eyes, looked like he was serious. I mean, he was crying, little welled up. He wasn't crying like D1 was crying, but he had that little look in his eye that he was being sincere. So I'm hoping, really hoping, that he reaches out and gets some professional help and talk to his boy. Because if anybody should be able to talk to him, it should be you. See, when men are ex-felons and have done time, they can come up with ways to reach their family. I have to believe it. Because I've seen it work. I've witnessed it. Hardened dudes in the street fold when their father come around and speak. I tell my men in my class all the time, it's a difference when mom walks in the house from when dad walks in the house. It's a different presence, different energy, it's a different tone when dad's home. So you mean to tell me that somebody as street as Boosie, somebody who has been in those bars and navigated that space and know certain aspects of that industry, that you can't reach your son before he get popped? Come on. That means the industry has fatherhood failing. Fatherhood is failing in that industry if y'all can't get it right like that. I mean, I don't see Jeezy Boy picking up no mic. I ain't see him pick up no package neither. I see him, he got his college degree on. I ain't seen Snoop's son since the show. Right? You ain't seen Snoop's sons, right? What was, you understand what I'm saying? Come on, fatherhood. Most important thing. Salute, Anthony. What's going on? Day one. Brooklynites, East New Yorkers in a spotty spot. Okay? So somebody tell little Boosie to come through. And y'all start getting that. Come on, let's fund this war effort, man. We playing for people's minds here. Fund this war effort. Yeah, tell them, see, Blaze. Get that info and fund this war effort. And last, definitely not least, we got Tootie Raw, partner in crime, King Harris, and T.I. Now, we seen what they went through this week. And again, I called Cap. Just like I called Cap on that Keke Palmer situation, that whole shit. And what did I say? Didn't I say by the time they got to go to court that all this shit wasn't going? Didn't I say that? I told y'all that temporary order, non-contact, didn't I tell you that shit was going to go out the window? I tell y'all that was bullshit, and what happened? What happened? Bullshit. Dismissed, they working it out. No more restraining order, no more order of protection, no more of that. Before they even went up in the court. Telling y'all this shit is all cap. They doing this shit to shift your lens in order to get you to buy a product, in order to get you to watch something or look at something. Guard your mind, man. Y'all come here, I'm not playing, I'm not lying. This ain't no stories, this is from experience, man. This is from watching, studying, analyzing this shit. If it don't make sense, it don't make sense. Shit ain't rocket science. Now look, Keke and the dude back together, working it out. Before the courts got involved, because I told you, once they get involved, everything come out. You ain't going to deny this man the right to see his son over some bullshit. Where's the mama at now? Told you that was cap. But anyway, let's get back. T.I. and King and Tiny and the Harris family seem to have got a lot of attention over the past week, especially since last weekend's fiasco, where King seemingly was out of control and allegedly nudged Mama Bear a little bit too much, where he got to get draped up by T.I. And we're wondering, why is he so out of control? He was a cute little kid. Right? Y'all seen the thumbnail in class last week where he's like this. So after that little display, then we start seeing these silly little memes about little King might be the biological son of one of Queen's finest. And I said, that's Jack. They need to cut that shit out. Stop playing games. They ain't, you know. But that, again, just led on to the attention that the Harris family was getting. You remember we started seeing the older one playing the guitar a little bit more. You know, we seeing them groundbreaking for housing developments and all this other shit that we know the Euro's backing. All this other weirdness. But we still can't figure out why. Why is King so out of control all the time? And it's a play, like I said, to garner the attention. Until a couple of days ago, where we see Tip losing control. Yeah, we see Tip go back to the I'm Serious day. You remember Tip from I'm Serious with Beanie Man? You remember T.I. was like, who that boo? Who that dude out of the South with that fire? Remember? You remember tilted hat to the side, T.I.? I remember that. Shit to the side and back. Looked like his head was too heavy for his neck. You know, you leaning and... Remember that? Ooh, he went back to them days. In the video, we see him barking on promoters or club owners or whoever it was for putting his name on promotional, not only his name and likeness, and King's name and likeness. Well, one of the kids, let me see, I believe though was King, you know, them little flyers and shit, advertising that they was going to be at this spotty spot. He didn't like that, as he shouldn't. But as a father who is wondering where his son gets that behavior from, ooh, T.I. went crazy. Threatening. I shut this shit down. It's my town. You don't put my name on nothing. You don't put my image on nothing. Get my bread. Oh. Now that's the T.I. we like to see. Remember Will Smith? Now that's how you drive. Remember he said that in Bad Boy? That's the T.I. we want to see. Right? Yeah, step to them dudes. They don't be playing with you. But you're a dad. What a great example you just taught Lil King on how to handle business. I thought you was a businessman. Right? I thought you was a boss. This is what they say. This is what these upper echelon rap dudes say. They bosses, they businessmen. That don't look like he was no businessman. That looked very street to me. Threatening, wailing, calling out. Yo, this is my town, this is Atlanta. You don't know? Oh, whoa. Now we see where King getting it from. That's the T.I. that we know. That's the one who caught them cases. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we talking about. Great example of fathering. Great example of fathering. Yes. So when we see King act out, yeah, we know where he gets it from. Yeah, we know now. Yeah. Yeah, y'all fathers in hip-hop. Y'all sure did an excellent job this week. Excellent. Excellent work. I commend the fathers in hip-hop. Yeah, y'all sure know how to get it lit. Excellent examples. Yeah. Because this the shit that I see on my timeline. This the shit that I see that people make an attempt to compare me to. It's the shit that I'm measured by. Dumb shit. Regressive nigger shit. I mean, this is what it is. Right? That's the stuff that gets funded. That. But people question Why we as a whole not in a better space. So I see a lot of fronting. I see a lot of fronting. And we get questioned. I get questioned. Well, what do we think you should do? You only live once. We got to be up. And I'm watching. I'm watching people put together these fabulous TikToks, IGs, memes. And they're using all these words. And the shit is going so good that now folks on the continent are emulating that. And they're doing it. And I'm seeing these magnificent dresses and skirts. Niggas in tight-ass slacks with tight-ass jackets and blazers. And everything is amazing, stupendous, fabulous. I'm blessed, anointed, and all this shit. I'm wealthy. Oh, graced, healthy. And mad plates and foods and drink and parties and landscapes. But nobody wanna fucking get free. No liberation. No unity. No freedom. That's why we are stuck. That's why you're stuck. Comfortable in your oppression. Comfortable in your enslavement. Chicken George was happy too. Right? As long as he had them goddamn chickens, he was happy. Dancing. With his hat. And the bad part is that these niggas don't see that is them today. Okay? So again, y'all can play with the rest of these people if y'all want to. Play with social media. You can continue to fool yourselves. You can continue to believe that somebody's doing some shit that they ain't doing. Or give them accolades for shit that was done in the past. It's consistent with me. Until we are free, until we are liberated, I don't want none of that shit. None of it. Fund this war effort. Guard your mind. Get back to class with all 10 fingers and 10 toes. Because you are great. Celebrities don't care about you. They care about your interest in them. And these niggas will sell you anything. Because that's how the old phase taught them. Okay? They'll sell you Jesus in a cup. They'll sell your little kid's ass. They'll sell you a movie based on some bullshit. But God damn it, they will never, ever encourage you to be free. Peace.